Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syifa Aulia Khairunnisa, and I will discuss about the representamen, interpretant, and object of the semicolon symbol on the words of today's generation. First, we will discuss about the icon, index, and symbol by Charles Sanders Peirce. Second, we will elaborate about the triadic model, also by Charles Sanders Peirce, which is a representamen, interpretant, and object. Lastly, we will discuss about the analysis of the semicolon symbol on the words of today's generation. Before we continue to the first discussion, I will tell you about Charles Sanders Peirce. As we all know, in the semiotic, there are two famous figures in semiotic, Fernand de Saussure and Charles Sanders Peirce. There is also Roland Barthes and more, but today we will discuss about Charles Sanders Peirce. He is an American philosopher, logician, mathematician, and scientist who is sometimes known as the father of pragmatism. He saw logic as the formal branch of semiotic, of which he is a founder, which foreshadowed the debate among logical positivists and proponents of philosophy of language that dominated 20th century Western philosophy. According to Peirce, a sign tag forms in its signifier can be classified as one of three types: icon, index, and symbol. Icon has a physical resemblance to the signifier, the thing being represented. A photograph is a good example, as it certainly resembles whatever it depicts. An index shows evidence of what's being represented. A good example is using an image of smoke to indicate fire. A symbol has no semblance between signifier and the signified. The connection between them must be culturally learned. For example, for symbol number 7, we all know number 7 is look like this, but the form it takes, has nothing to do with what it actually means. Next, the triadic model. Triadic model by American philosopher Peirce. Based on Umberto Eco, the triadic model composed by representamen, interpretant, and object. Representamen, the form taken by sign. Some theories refer it as a sign vehicle. An interpretant, not the interpreter, but the meaning that was made by the sign itself. An object, something beyond the sign to which it refers, a referent. Now we have a picture of a triangle, and the representamen, interpretant, and object. The picture shows the correlation between the representamen, interpretant, and object. Next, the analysis of semicolon symbol and the words of today's generation. The semicolon is commonly used as orthographic punctuation. In the English language, a semicolon is most commonly used to link in a single sentence two independent clauses that are closely related in tone. For example, my wife would like tea. Semicolon, symbol, I would prefer coffee. Next, I went to basketball court. Semicolon, symbol, I was told it was closer for cleaning. Those are the example of the usage of punctuation in a sentence. Both of the sentence are two independent clauses but connected by punctuation. The symbol of semicolon, the period and comma symbol, which is the semicolon itself. The form the semicolon text is the representamen. On the words, which is usually it was placed, is the object, and it has the interpretant of message of affirmation and solidarity regarding mental health issues. As we can see, the semicolon symbol here, exactly what I was talking about, has entirely different meaning than what is the semicolon about when it was used in sentence. And it has nothing to do with how semicolon looks like. That's why it's a symbol. It needs to be culturally learned to be able to understand what it means. Here we have pictures of semicolon on the words of today's generation. In the first picture on the left, we have the normal semicolon, and the two other pics has a semicolon but modified with other form like heart and the cross shape. Onto the meaning itself, a semicolon tattoo is a tattoo of the semicolon punctuation mark, which is used as a message of affirmation and solidarity with those who have dealt with suicide, depression, addiction, and other mental health issues. The semicolon tattoo was popularized by Amy Bluewell. She was struggling with depression, addiction, and difficult personal circumstances, particularly after being raped and her father died by suicide. She wanted something to commemorate her survival. So after a series of unfortunate events that Amy Bluewell has gone through, she wants to celebrate how far she has gone, because knowing her trauma, it was difficult to keep living, and yet she was able to keep going. That's why she wants something to commemorate her survival. In 2013, she founded the faith-based non-profit Project Semicolon, called Project Semicolon, which chose a semicolon as a symbol because it's, I quote, used when an author could be chosen to end their sentence but chose not to. The author is you and the sentence is your life. The conclusion: people get semicolon tattoos to represent their own struggle with and victories over ongoing, as they can be suicide, or to express solidarity for those experiencing mental health issues. Intended to be hopeful and inspirational, the tattoo is often subtle in places such as behind the ear or on the wrist, though may have larger, more elaborate design incorporating the semicolon punctuation mark. As already showed you before in the picture, it can be modified, but it's still semicolon. And as we can see here, it's not on the wrist. It's not only on the wrist, it can be behind the ear or somewhere in your body, but I'm specifically talking about the semicolon symbol on the wrist. That's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.